to politics. The fuel subsidy debate is heating up, with the presidency accusing Atiku Abubakar of changing his position 3 times in 1 week. Presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga questioned whether Atiku was making concrete economic policy or playing politics with Nigerians' lives, declaring that the confusion from his camp has become impossible to ignore. Atiku has since fired back, demanding the government show Nigerians how the subsidy savings were spent. Meanwhile, Senate President Godswill Akpabio has predicted that Nigerians will re-elect President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027, saying the administration inherited an economy in shambles with 27 states unable to pay salaries, but has since turned things around. Akpabio also took a swipe at social media critics, describing online conversations as garbage in, garbage out. Ayo, now 2 powerful political statements, one from the presidency accusing the opposition of confusion and one from the Senate president predicting victory. Now, with 2027 rapidly approaching, the battle lines are being drawn and Nigerians are watching every move, isn't it?
Every move.
Your thoughts?
This is political season.
Yes.
You expect to see things like this. Let me just say that Waziri Atiku Abubakar is not the only person that has done a flip-flop when it's come to his policy direction on subsidy removal. This same Tinubu administration and many of the people in his administration under the Jonathan administration had kicked against subsidy removal. So they also did a policy flip-flop when they came into power by removing the same fuel subsidy that they said should not be removed in protection of the most vulnerable in society. What does this mean? I don't think it's impossible for a man, based on new information gathered or new knowledge received, to modify his policy direction. What should be the most important thing should be the sincerity of it and the smart objectives or smart plan to actually defend his decision. So don't just come and give us, campaign speak and talk to us. How do you hope to do it? And so that's why this conversation around fuel subsidy, we've asked Nigerians to really interrogate that. Those who are saying we'll keep fuel subsidy, how do they hope to keep corruption out of a system that has been said many times over to have robbed the Nigerian people of the benefits of its commonwealth? And so these are some of the conversations. You can say certain things that sound nice. People are feeling the pinch of fuel subsidy currently, and so you just throw a statement and say, we're going to remove this, we'll do this, we'll do X, we'll do that. It's not so easy. And so what we want to see is actual, rigorous conversation, thoughts into the processes which both parties are bringing forward as solutions to this. With regards to Akpabio, anybody can come out and say we're going to win. We had a guest earlier on, Mr. Moses Adebisi, who said he's going to kick out Tinubu come 2027 of the DLA party. This is all political speak. Everybody feels like...
man from Cambodia.
From Cambodia, with his university degree. Everybody, every politician. I mean, when Mr. Peter Obi was asked at the NBA what he would do if the election didn't go in his own way, he said, I will win. Everybody's going to beat their chest and say, I will win. Absolutely. So this is political speak. At the end of the day, it's the people that will decide. Yes. And so that's why we ask people to decide with their ballots. Don't let people sway you by all these,
Rufai,
big talk.
Okay, so based on what the presidency said, apart from the fact that largely, yes, people had said there was no need for subsidy in the past. I mean, President Tinubu wrote an op-ed that I read here, and the hypocrisy. But based on what Bayo Onanuga said, I hardly agree with the presidency and Mr. Bayo Onanuga. I think if he wrote that message, but I agree with him on this, because Atiku Abubakar has not laid out a plan of how you're going to pull out subsidy. Like I said at the start of the debate, I think it was about last week when it started, by now, Atiku Abubakar should have employed economists that are going to give you a methodology of how you're going to do it, and you're going to appropriate the costs. He's just been saying, I'll pull it out. He's not told us how. Away from that document. So in the next 1 week, if he cannot tell us how he's going to pull it out, then I don't think he's ready for this argument.
All right.
So Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, please, with due respect, release a proper methodology document of how you're going to subsidize production or what you're going to do around it in the next 1 week. If you're not going to do it, forget about it. We're not here to play, sir.
He has enough time to do that. Dr. Abati, meanwhile, FCT Council Chairman Danjuma Shekwolo is now in damage control mode after declaring the video that went viral that it's better, or it's either you are with the APC or leave the area council. On Wednesday, the chairman issued a statement walking back the comments, insisting that they were taken out of context. Let's take a look.
The remarks in question was made in a specific context aimed at addressing administrative efficiency, local development, and community welfare. At no point did I intend to cause disaffection, undermine any group, or promote policies that do not serve the best interests of our citizens.
All right, Dr. Abati, meanwhile, before I come to you, a fresh controversy is brewing over the finances of the Federal Capital Territory, with Senator Ireti Kingibe accusing FCT Minister Wike of taking loans without approval from the National Assembly. Speaking during an interview on Tuesday, Kingibe also said she's already raised the issue with the Senate leadership. Let's take a look.
I am definitely saying he's been taking loans without the approval of the National Assembly. I don't know about the House, but certainly not the Senate. Now, why do I know that? I was reading somewhere. Debt Management Office has those loans taken from August 2023 to March 2026. I know that Wike has never, if anybody contradicts me, they should bring the votes and proceedings of the day that Wike came to the National Assembly to ask for approval for anything. The president, from whom he derives his powers, brings his requests for loans, appointments, everything. And Wike's powers cannot be more than the powers from which he derives his own.
We have yet to see, an official response from the FCT minister, but at the center of the allegation is this question of how public borrowing by the FCT is being authorized and scrutinized, and according to Kingibe, a lot more needs to be done. Dr. Abati, over to you.
Okay, very quickly, Senator Ireti Kingibe has thrown a challenge that should be responded to. In the interest of transparency and accountability, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Wike, is not in any way above, the scrutiny in terms of how transparent and accountable he is in the discharge of his responsibilities. But the challenge thrown by Senator Kingibe is in two directions. One, to the clerk of the National Assembly. The clerk of the National Assembly has the records. And she is saying that she wants parliamentary evidence to be shown that indeed at any point whatsoever there have been votes and proceedings and inquiry into the budget, the finances of the Federal Capital Territory. So the clerk of the National Assembly has an obligation to respond, but the bigger obligation lies with the minister himself, Wike, who I think does not lack capacity in terms of taking on challenges and defending himself. And he should not go quiet on us on this particular matter. He's been publicly challenged that he's been collecting loans. Now, where are those loans coming from? Who approved those loans? Because Mrs. Kingibe made the additional point that even the president of Nigeria, he brings his budget to the National Assembly, and that the National Assembly deliberates over, his financial requests, and then, although she didn't say so, but by implication, she's saying, who is saying Wike that he will be taking loans without oversight. So the ball is in the court of Minister Wike. Either he will speak for himself, and he is loud enough, he knows how to defend himself, or he will do so through any of his sidekicks who make a living from, fighting enemies on his behalf. As for the man in the council, the FCT council, well, look, after a pattern, we get all these public officials, public personalities who will say, oh, it was AI generated. Oh, I was quoted out of context. But I think in the case of this Shekwolo, nobody quoted him out of context. Yesterday, you played the video in which he was threatening people.
Yes.
That you cannot be in this FCT council and you go and vote for any other party other than the APC. I think we need to worry about the leadership recruitment process in this country. How did we get to such a point that we have public officials sounding like thugs, henchmen, hype men, roadside commentators? We need more responsible and more intelligent people in positions of authority. And that is one of the things the electorate should watch out for in 2027 elections. Don't use your PVC to go and vote for people who are no better than, strong-bodied, or what do they call them, henchmen of political parties. We need people who are intelligent enough to know what their responsibility is.
All right. Speaking about the FCT, I mean, we cannot fault Wike for all the infrastructure projects. He's been doing so well, but now he's come under scrutiny after this allegation by Ireti Kingibe. But we'd like to highlight this new clip that surfaced on Wednesday, showing dozens of children and families seen frolicking at the newly inaugurated City Gate fountain. Let's take a look. Yeah, see, we're getting mixed reactions. I'm hearing Rufai asking you whether they're the bath for this.
This is beautiful.
It's
not a bad thing, because if you go to Trafalgar Square, go to Central London, go to Manchester, and all these, go to New York, there are places like this that are tourist destinations.
Yes, I have videos of my children.
Children love water. Some of them have the opportunity to feed geese, or some of them have to feed ducks. But this is an opportunity for people to come together. In these places, there will be lifelong friendships made. It's part of community building. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Absolutely not. I think it's done well.
Yes, and we should encourage children to even here in Lagos State, the
Zenith Bank.
During Christmas, the traffic, but you won't complain.
It's not only children, even adults.
And I'm sure some adults. They ask you to go and stay in that fountain and play in water, you will not go.
I will go. I love it.
I think
it is actually quite normal to see. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. I don't have anything, but I'm saying children they bath inside water.
All right. All right.